Alright, hi again. So thank you for being here. What I want to share is how nutrition and injury prevention really are linked and really go hand in hand for athletes. A lot of us only really focus on practice, drills, or strength training, but the backstage stuff, the behind the stage stuff, like food choices, recovery, these can make or break performance. My goal is to show how smart choices every day helps us stay healthy, perform better, and avoid injuries that can sideline us. So I forgot to do a quick about me last presentation. So my name is Tairan. I am a junior and a student athlete at Royal Catholic High. A few sports I have played is tennis, water polo, badminton, and cross country. So performance is not just about how many hours you put into practice. It's about your habits that you do before and after practice. If you're not fueling your body right, your energy drops. If you don't be careful during practice, you don't warm up, you don't stretch properly, then you also have smaller chances of doing better. When you eat well and you take care of your body, you have more energy, you recover faster, and you cut down on time lost from preventable injuries. It's about working smarter, not harder. So just a basic overview of nutrition. So carbs, main energy source. Proteins, they are your recovery buddies, meaning they recover your muscles when you get injured. Fats, there is a mixed opinion about fats, but these are your long-term energy source and your hormone producers. Staying hydrated is probably the most important one though, because it's something you need to stay on top of all day, not just during games or practices. And when or the timing of this nutrition also matters. It's not just what you eat, but when you eat it. Before practice or a game, eat probably 1 or 3 hours before. Something light, carbs and proteins are recommended. During the activity, water should always be within arm's reach or within where you're practicing. Sports drinks, especially for practices that go beyond 1 hour, it's pretty recommended, so you can replenish your electrolytes. After the activity, there's something I like to call the 30-minute window. It's when you would eat something after practice that's when your body is most primed to absorb nutrients. So something with like chocolate milk or a smoothie, that's a good choice. This habit can really separate athletes from who recover well from those who are constantly sore. So some supplements are helpful, but it's only if you actually need it. For example, protein powder. You can use protein powder if you are lacking in your diet, lacking protein in your diet. Creatine also has solid research for athletes who do heavy exercise during practice, but it's not super recommended for sports that don't require a lot of intensive workouts, like badminton that require more hand-eye coordination and fast explosive power. Also, not all supplements are good. Watch out for pre-workouts, fat burners, and unknown brands. Always consult a coach, doctor, or nutritionist before buying one of those. Now, shifting gears a bit, we're going to talk about some injuries in student athletes. No matter what sport you play, certain injuries can pop up again and again. Sprains, strains, stress fractures, concussions, and tendinitis. So we're going to go into each of these more in detail. Sprains, most common sites are probably your ankle, knee, and wrist. This happens when your joint is pushed beyond its natural range, normal range, like when you awkwardly land or you make a really, really sharp turn. Depending on the severity, the ligament can stretch, partially tear, or just completely rip. Prevention is about strengthening the muscles around your joint, using good technique, and always warming up before you go full speed. So in sprains, I'm going to go over something called tendinitis as well. This is what a ligament is affected here. Strains, this usually involves muscles and tendons. The hamstring, lower back, and shoulder are very common spots. Strains often happen when you move suddenly, lift something really heavy. or just overuse a muscle that isn't warmed up. So best way to prevent this injury, don't overestimate yourself. Always slowly ramp up your workout. And also work on your flexibility so your body can adapt to quick movements. Alright, stress fractures. So these are when you develop tiny cracks in the bone, usually in the shin, foot, and hip. This is pretty common for runners or activities that require a lot of jumping. This is likely caused by either you ramp up your training way too quickly, or when you lack vitamin D or calcium. The key here is to increase training gradually, fuel your body properly, and prioritize recovery so your bones can adapt. Concussions are among the more serious injuries athletes face. They happen when your head takes a direct hit, or even when your body gets jolted so your brain shifts inside of your skull. This results in a temporary change in how the brain works, and symptoms can vary. If you ever feel off after a hit in a sport, it's better to report it right away than risk it being something more serious. Lastly, tendonitis. This is probably the most common injury I've experienced, because it's when your tendon gets inflamed from too much stress and not enough recovery. It's common in places like the shoulder, elbow, and Achilles, often caused by poor technique, like when I just started playing tennis, when I just started playing badminton. The best prevention is to mix things up with cross training, like don't always train the same muscle, work on your form, and stretch properly. Alright, I did go over this a little bit, but probably I'm going to go over it again. Always, I'll allocate 10-15 minutes to warm up and cooling down. Cross-train so you reduce overuse, like swimming and running, rest and recovery. Always one full day for rest in a week. But rest days aren't always like just resting on the couch and doing nothing. Probably do something, like maybe doing a light run, light workout, like lifting weights a little bit. And yeah, strength training. So this is a short video of the misconception that stretching does not prevent injury.
I have some bad news. Stretching before exercise, it does not prevent injury. There's loads and loads of research that shows that deep stretching, static stretching, before a run, before a game, before a workout routine, it actually reduces your power, reduces your speed, and can create temporary joint laxity, about 1 to 3 hours. So it's possible that deep stretching might actually make you more susceptible, not less susceptible to injuries. Okay, so what should we do? Should we stop stretching altogether? No, that's not the solution. Hey, my name is Lucas. I teach something called the science of stretching. I'm a yoga teacher. I focus on flexibility training. And in this short video, my objective is to share with you the truth and the myth about flexibility training, when and how to use it appropriately. Let's start off by looking at some of that negative research, because it's important to understand how this works. A 2014 study in the Journal of Strength Conditioning and Research, what they did is they looked at people running a 1 mile race pace, so really fast runners. And one group was stretching, static stretching before their runs, and one group was not. They found statistically significant slower the group that was stretching. Okay, so why? That doesn't make any sense, right? Well, think about it. When you're running, your body takes kinetic energy and potential energy, and it stores it in elastic tissues of your muscles and your tendons. So at the bottom of your stride, boing, you bounce like a pogo stick, and you transfer that energy, and this is how we run. When you do deep stretching, it reduces temporarily the elasticity of those muscles and tendons, so there's less bounce in your stride. Imagine that same pogo stick, but at the bottom of the bounce, the spring is worn out, and so you have to force with your leg. That's what happens. It takes more muscular energy. You're slower. You're basically slower as a runner. In another study, looking at joint laxity, they took a group of soccer players, and one group was doing static stretching before their practice, before their games, and the other group was not. What they found is, looking at their knees, there was statistically significant more joint laxity in the group that was stretching. What does that mean? Well, that deep stretching, again, destabilized their knees, potentially making them more susceptible to things like ACL rupture or other knee injuries. Okay, so if stretching before a game, stretching before a run, stretching before exercise is not good, Why is everybody doing it? Why are amateurs doing it? Why are runners doing it? Why are professional athletes? Why are Olympic athletes? Why do you see them doing these routines? Well, if you pay close attention, what you'll notice is that the vast majority of those athletes, they're not doing long hold, 2-minute passive flops over their legs. They're not passively stretching. They're actively and dynamically stretching before games. And what that means is they'll flex and extend their joints, they'll contract and relax their muscles, and they'll go through a range of motion to connect their mind and their muscles. This is a really great way to warm up. It can create that nervous system connection, it can increase circulation, and just like if you took a practice swing before you hit a ball, probably that increase your performance. Just like if you took a practice pitch or a practice kick, it will probably increase your performance. This is why athletes do it. It's probably a great idea. Now, does that prevent injuries? Also, probably not, but it probably does increase performance. Okay, so we know deep stretching before exercise, not a great idea. We know that most athletes are doing warm-up stretches. That might be a good idea, but it doesn't prevent injuries. And here's the kicker. Here's why you clicked on this video originally. Probably you have some areas of your body that nevertheless, despite everything I've shared with you, are totally imbalanced. Maybe your shoulders are hunched over and you're unable to interlace your hands behind your back. Maybe you cannot squat down past 90 degrees to get your bum to your heels. Maybe when you hinge forward, your back curls and you get lower back pain. If you have lost basic range of motion, if you're moving in a way that's suboptimal, that makes you very prone to injury. So what do? Here's what you do. You stretch after, not before. You stretch after exercise, not before. And ideally, you do it right before bed. Using science of stretching principles, long hold, passive poses, you can systematically open up your hips, your hamstrings, your shoulders, your spine, really any area of your body. You do it right before bed. So you go to bed loose and limber, and we have a 1 to 3 hour period where you'll have less power, less strength, and joint laxity. Go to bed loose and limber, and you wake up in a ready state for practice. Over time, you can correct your posture. Over time, you can increase your range of motion. And increased range of motion, better biomechanics, better posture, that is how you reduce injuries long term. Hope you found this video helpful. Hopefully it's cleared up some of these strip.
Okay. I hope that video helped you understand more about how stretching, the misconception of stretching. So some real life tips I'm going to give you right now. You can apply it to your daily life right now. So set phone alarms to remind yourself to drink water. Pay attention to what your body is telling you, not always what your coach is telling you, because you know your body best, not your coach or anyone else. Carry healthy snacks like trail mix and fruit so you're not hungry with no options. Meal prepping on weekends makes eating really easy during the week. After practice, eat within 30 minutes. And try foam rolling at night and stretch every night. To wrap everything up, nutrition is what fuels your performance, and injury prevention is what keeps you playing. So when you combine the two, you set yourself up not only to perform better, but they'll pay off in the future. These are my sources, but any questions? Yeah.
What class have you taken on sports?
I've taken a kinesiology course in college, Chabot College. That's what really made me more interested, probably, in this topic.